hope you're sitting down because this is going to blow your mind. Imagine a system where you are guaranteed to pass a prop firm or your challenge fees refunded. Pay attention here and pull out your calculator. First, I'll show you the big picture concept and then I'll show you two examples. This expert advisor is called PropEA, and the EA goes on two accounts, the prop firm account and the real account. Now, the prop firm account is called the master and the real account is the slave, and they are opposites of each other. So when a prop account takes a buy trade, your real account will take a sell trade, and vice versa for the sell trade. So for this particular example, I'm going to go with a FTMO 100K account. And for your real account, you need a minimum of $3,000. In reality, it is a bit more than that because of margin. Before I dive into the detail, let's take a look of what a traditional prop firm looks like. Here I've got a FTMO 100K challenge, and it has a phase 1, phase 2 funded, and I've got here another funded stage, and I'll talk about that later. So there are 4 outcomes in this scenario. When you fail the first phase 1, you make a break even at $0. You fail phase 2, we break even at $0 again. And in the funded, if we fail our first funded stage, we break even at $0. However, if we win and manage to pass phase 1, phase 2, and get our funded account, we make $5,000 in this first funded stage, and then afterwards we have a funded account that we can trade with whatever EAA, whatever strategy you want. To get started, let's purchase a 100K FTMO challenge, so we're already out of pocket about $500. If we fail phase 1, then we make $500. So $500 plus the $500 that costs us in our challenge, and we are back at break even and we can start the process all over again. If we pass the challenge, then in our FTMO account, we would have made 10%, but in our real account, we would have lost $500. So all up right now, we are down $1,000, $500 down here and $500 up there. Next up, we have a phase 2. And to keep the math simple, I've got it here failing at 5% and passing at 5%. I know in actuality, passing is 5% and failing is 10%, but to keep this example simple and to keep the math simple, let's make it a 5%. So if we fail in phase 2, we are going to make $1,000 in our real account. So $1,000 plus the 500 here and 500 here, that means we are back at break even and we can start the process all over again. And if we pass phase 2, then we lose $1,000. But remember, with FTMO and most prop firms, they will refund you your challenge fee. So we will get back $500 from FTMO. So we've effectively right now, we're at a loss of $1,500. Now we are at our funded account, but we are not finished yet because we still need to trade the PropEA. And if we aim for a 10% profit and a 10% loss, in this scenario, if you lose 10% of your account and you lose your funded account, you've made $1,500 in your real account. And if you add all the numbers up to here, that means we are back at break even at $0 and we can start the process all the way from the top. If we are aiming for 10% of a FTMO 100K account, then we make $10,000. But FTMO doesn't pay 100%, they pay only 80%. So we get from FTMO $8,000, and in our real account, we would have lost $1,500. So $8,000 minus $1,500 minus all the money we've lost so far gives us $5,000. Now we've pocketed $5,000 after winning money in the funded stage, and we have a 100K account that we can still trade with this expert advisor or with any other expert advisor that you want. This process can be quite confusing and hard to understand when you are first introduced to this concept, so feel free to watch this section over and over again if you need to. But in summary, there are 4 main outcomes through this process. Failing phase 1 means you break even in money terms. Failing phase 2 means you break even again, and failing the funded stage means you break even. But throughout all that, if you actually make money in the funded stage, then you are up $5,000 and you still have a funded account that you can do whatever you want with. This effectively means taking a prop challenge is a risk-free endeavor because They're only break even or a profitable scenario outcome. Now that you've got the concept, let me show you 2 examples for FTMO. Here is a free trial FTMO account I used to test the PropEA, and you can see this one is a 25,000 account, and even though for a free trial the target is only at 5%, I wanted to simulate a phase 1 account, so I was actually targeting 2,500, and I did make that. It took 3 days to pass the minimum trading days, maximum daily loss $233, and I did make $2,500. And here are the rest of the stats. Here is a screenshot I took a little while ago of my PC, and on the left you've got the FTMO account, and on the right you've got my real account. And you can see with the FTMO account it was a 25,000 challenge, and most of the profits of 2,500 was made with a one trade of 0.62 lots on gold. The rest of the trades at 0.01, they're mainly there just to make sure that you meet the minimum trading days. On the right hand side, I've got my real account, which is the slave account, and this is a USD account, which is the same currency as my FTMO account, which is also USD. So while my prop firm account made $2,500, my real account lost $291, which is approximately the cost of the FTMO 25K challenge. These are the settings of the master account, which is the prop firm account. And notice that here I've got it working mode is prop master, and my verification is level 1, and my minimum trading days is 4. And the target is 2,500. I did for this test put exactly the amount that you need to achieve to pass and fail the challenge. But in reality, when I am going to attempt this on a real prop firm, I will probably increase it up by a little bit. For example, I would put $2,550 here. And the total cost in USD for me was $272. And these are the settings for my real account, otherwise known as the slave. All the settings are exactly the same except for the first variable, which is a real slave. Next, I have for you a real FTMO challenge that I purchased with my own money. This one was a $50,000 challenge, and it hasn't quite lost just yet. We're a few $1,000s above the maximum loss at $5,000. It has passed everything else. It didn't exceed the max daily drawdown, which is fantastic. And even though that this account is about to lose, I've pretty much written this one off. Check out my real account here. Now this one on the right is a AUD account, which is not what they recommend. They do recommend having the same currency as the FTMO account, but I have tested it and it seems okay and working fine. So $446 is the $400 that has been closed, and currently there is a floating open profit of $40, so total $446 in AUD, which it translates to about $300 USD. These are the settings I've got for my slave account, and you'll see the total cost I've put here at $305, so a little bit above $300. And for the target, instead of 5,000, I've put it just a little bit above 5,000. The max daily loss just a little bit below 2,500, and the max summary loss just a little bit under 5,000. For my FTMO account, you can see there are about 3 trades which make up most of the losses. The rest are 0.01, and they're there just to make up the minimum trading days. And the first trade was 1.26, and the reason that this one was closed because it almost hit the maximum daily loss of 2,500, so that's why that was closed on one day. And then 0.67, that was closed almost hitting the maximum daily loss again, but the EA kicked in to protect this account from breaching those rules. And there are a couple of trades open with a floating loss of $298. So we haven't quite lost the account with a $5,000 loss, but we are getting there. Do I care that I'm about to lose this challenge? No, because I haven't actually lost any money. There are a few points I want to bring out that I learned when I was testing this EA. The first one is take bigger challenges. So at a minimum, 25,000 challenges. The bigger the challenge, for example, a 100 or 200K challenge, the more profitable the system is. With a 10K challenge, the math doesn't work out and you're actually losing money in the big scheme of things. With a 25K challenge, you are slightly profitable, but pretty much the bigger the challenge, the more profits there are. There are 3 methods of trading: slow, medium, and fast. When you have a low leverage account, for example, the FTMO account that I am taking, it has a maximum of 30 to 1 leverage, which is I picked the slow method. The other 2 methods here are normal and fast, and you would only pick that if you have higher leverage accounts. When you start the Expert Advisor, it trades immediately. So if you don't see a trade straight away, you've done something wrong, take it off and put it on again. Because it trades immediately, it's unlikely that you have copy trading issues where you'll have the exact same trades as someone else. That it's always a possibility someone in the world is opening the same EA with the same time with the exact same settings that you have, but it's unlikely. And you've seen with my own trading that this is not a grid martingale Expert Advisor. I am planning to do a lot more testing with this Expert Advisor because I want to simulate passing and failing in all phase 1, phase 2 and funded to simulate every single test case of the 6 scenarios that are possible. You've already seen me show a 10% pass with the FTMO free trial here, and I'm about to show this one where I fail a challenge, but effectively I am back at break even in terms of cost. So stay tuned for a lot more testing of this Expert Advisor, especially phase 2, because in this example, I've got it here as 5% pass and 5% fail. But in reality, it is 10% for failure. So I got to figure out what the math will actually look like when I take a phase 2 challenge. As always, this is not a recommendation or financial advice, but I am very excited.